Hello and welcome to India Business Hour. I'm Shireen Bhan. The top stories that we're tracking for you this evening. The Sensex and the Nifty end with sharp cuts, ending at the low point of the day. The Sensex below 79,000. The Nifty loses over 200 points. All sectoral indices barring IT close in the red. Adani Group shares declined for the second day after allegations by Hindenburg against SEBI Chief Madhabi Puri Butch. A petition in the Supreme Court calls for completion of the SEBI probe into the Adani Group. The Congress Party announces a nationwide agitation on the 22nd of August demanding the removal of the SEBI chief. SoftBank's India bet pays off as Ola Electric, First Cry and Unicommerce make strong debuts on Dalal Street, recovers its initial investment of $650 million and still holds shares worth nearly $2 billion. Starbucks replaces CEO Lakshman Narasimhan after 16 months at the helm, appoints Brian Niccol, the current CEO of Chipotle. Starbucks shares had declined 23% during Narasimhan's tenure, bounce today.
About why are our
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says she wishes taxes could be brought down to nil, but adds India's challenges are severe and the government needs to fund research and development. Anil Agarwal's Vedanta to sell 2.6% stake in Hindustan Zinc through an offer for sale. The sale is valued at around 6,400 crore rupees at current market price. Hindalco beats estimates with profits more than doubling in Q1. The board appoints Kumaramangalam Birla's children, Ananya Birla and Aryaman Birla, as additional non-executive directors. Bajaj Auto revs up its CNG play weeks after launching the Freedom 125. Sources say the auto giant plans to increase its monthly production capacity to 10,000 by August and 20,000 by October. The Calcutta High Court transfers the investigation into the rape and murder of a trainee doctor to the CBI, says the police's probe did not inspire confidence, also questions the state government's role. Doctors and healthcare professionals protest across the country for the second day in a row. Mohammad Yunus, the chief advisor to the Bangladesh interim government, visits Dhaka's iconic temple, says establishing human rights is the government's prime goal. The police files a murder case against Sheikh Hasina and 6 others in connection with the death of a grocery shop owner. As Indigo gears up for business class operations, a CNBC TV18 analysis shows the airline stands to make more money on the same aircraft with fewer seats and potentially disrupt the premium flying segment. A special report. Well, as always, the day's market action to start with the Nifty and the Sensex failing to hold on to the recovery, ending at the day's lows today. So we saw the Sensex slipping below 79,000 while the Nifty gave up 24,200, down 700 points for the Sensex. The Nifty closing 200 points lower. The Nifty banked down by about 1.5%. The Nifty IT just about closing in the green. That was the only sectoral index that closed in the green. But as I pointed out, just about that was the story as far as the markets were concerned. Now, staying with the market, shares of the Adani Group declined for the second day, this after fresh allegations by Hindenburg against SEBI Chief Madhabi Puri Butch. Now, the group has seen its market capitalization worth nearly 30,000 crore rupees being wiped out in the last 2 trading sessions. Today, an application was filed before the Supreme Court seeking orders for the market regulator SEBI to complete its probe against the Adani Group. Remember, in January, the Supreme Court had ordered SEBI to complete all pending investigations against the group, preferably within 3 months. Filing the petition, lawyer Vishal Tiwari has said that the use of the word preferably by the apex court does not mean that there is no timeline that was fixed for SEBI to complete its probe. This lawyer was also one of the petitioners in the earlier Adani-Hindenburg litigation. Separately, the Congress Party has announced a nationwide agitation on the 22nd of January, demanding the removal of the SEBI chief for alleged conflict of interest. Take a look.
And now in the present scenario, again, as Hindenburg Research has levied some allegations against the SEBI chief. So in this present circumstances, if SEBI will not perform its conduct in a transparent manner, if it will not place any kind of report before the Supreme Court or before the public, then it will create a doubt in the minds of investors and the public. So now it has become very much essential, and we are praying before the Supreme Court that investigation report shall be called and SEBI shall be asked to comply with the order dated 3rd of January 2024.
Thousands of Congress workers will gather over the ED office in each state capital on 22nd, demanding these 2 issues. One is SEBI chairman has to be removed from that position. The person who have no credibility at all cannot continue as a SEBI chairperson.
Well, that was the latest as far as the Hindenburg matter is concerned. On to the Lal Street. Brainbees Solution, which owns and runs e-commerce platform FirstCry, seen strong debut on the Lal Street. The stock listing at a 40% premium on the NSE, ending the day with a gain of over 45%. The IPO was subscribed over 12 times. FirstCry is an omni-channel business selling newborn, baby and kids products. Mahindra Group Chairman Anand Mahindra, along with veteran industrialist Ratan Tata and former cricketer Sachin Tendulkar, are among the pre-IPO investors.
Mandate for Mahindra Partners really was that they should be investing in, incubating companies, particularly in the new age fields. And then one day Zubin came to me and he said, you know, Anand, I've studied this man and he's brilliant. He's an innovator, he's passionate, he focuses relentlessly on efficiency. He has a global vision, which I was delighted to hear Supam is being manifest today in the UAE and Saudi. And he said, this is the time for us to really create value by consolidating with them. I think we'll be better off supporting him rather than fighting him.
Well, that's Anand Mahindra on the FirstCry listing. And from one strong debut to another, shares of Unicommerce listed at 118% premium over the IPO price of 108 rupees. The issue of the SoftBank-backed company was subscribed more than 168 times. Unicommerce is an e-commerce enabling SaaS platform. And both FirstCry and Unicommerce are backed by SoftBank, which is also an investor in Una Electric, which listed last week. The three listings have given SoftBank threefold returns. Nisha joins us now to talk to us about SoftBank's India bets. Nisha, you've had a conversation with Sumer Juneja. Take us through what this week has been like for SoftBank. They can certainly do with some good news.
It's harvest time for investor SoftBanks, it seems, in India, because in the last few days, three of the portfolio companies have made bumper listings on the bourses. We are talking about FirstCry, Unicommerce, as well as Ola Electric. And what I gather is that SoftBank has made over 3x returns in each of these successful IPOs from their portfolio companies. Now, while talking about some of the numbers I have access details of, Ola Electric, in that SoftBank had invested about $250 million, and their current holding, as per the current market price, is about $1 billion with their stake in Ola Electric. FirstCry, they invested about $400 million in the pre-IPO rounds and the previous rounds. They've already recovered over $400 million, and now they are sitting with a holding which is worth over $800 million at current market price. When we talk about Unicommerce, they invested only a mere $15 million, and they have already sold worth $25 million and still sitting with a holding of $40 million. All put together, each one of them have seen over 3 times returns in these investments. Now, that's not all, because the upcoming IPOs are coming, and all of them are large IPOs, which are large unicorns. Swiggy is expected this very year. Lenskart, as well as Off Business, could also make it to the Lal Street in the next 12 to 18 months. Now, we spoke to Sumer Juneja, who heads India business for SoftBank. Exclusively, he commented on the success of the 3 IPOs to CNBC TV 18, and he said that with the latest IPOs, India remains one of the best performing investing markets for SoftBank globally. So that's really coming in as a show of strength for the India business, as well as their India team and the portfolio. And also they talk about the founders, the quality of founders that they are backed, and say that they're committed to robust Indian economic story and will continue to deploy capital to back the quality high growth companies here. So more investments can be definitely expected from SoftBank, given the kind of returns that they have made in the recent IPOs.
All right, Nisha, many thanks. Now, Anil Agarwal's Vedanta has announced the sale of 11 crore shares, or its 2.6% holding in Hindustan Zinc. The sale, which was approved by the company's board, will be conducted through an offer for sale. Shares of Hindustan Zinc closed at 586 rupees a share on the stock exchange. At this price, the sale will be valued at around 6,400 crore rupees. Our colleague Nimesh Shah had reported on the possibility of this going through. Metal manufacturer Hindalco's net profits in the first quarter more than doubled to 1,471 crore rupees as compared to 600 crore rupees year-on-year. Revenue grew 11.3% at 22,155 crores. Margins coming in at 12.4%, rising sharply from 7.8% year-on-year. The board of Hindalco appointed Ananya Birla and Aryavan Birla as directors. Aditya Birla Group Chairman Kumar Mangalam Birla has called it an appropriate time for the appointment of his children on the board. He said he's confident they will provide valuable perspectives that align with Hindalco's strategic vision for a sustainable future. A CNBC TV 18 news break is now confirmed. The next GST Council meeting will be held on the 9th of September. We did report earlier that the upcoming meeting is likely to take up issues related to GST notices to companies like Infosys, foreign airlines and foreign shipping companies. The Council is also expected to take stock of the rate rationalization exercise and the demand from several states seeking the withdrawal of GST on life and health insurance policies. India's net tax collections have risen more than 22% to 6.92 lakh crore rupees so far this fiscal year. Gross direct tax collection has also risen nearly 24% to 8.13 lakh crore rupees. That is as on the 11th of August. Now, the government mopped up 21,600 crore rupees through the securities transaction tax, marking an 111% jump on an annual basis. No surprise there, given the participation that we've seen in our markets. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has said that she wishes the tax rates could be brought down to nil, but said that India's challenges are severe and necessitate the current tax level. Speaking at an event, the Finance Minister added the government is committed to generating revenue, but without burdening people. Take a look.
When I have to answer people about why are our taxes like this, why can't we even be lower than this, I wish I can bring it down to almost nil. But India's challenges are severe, and the challenges will have to be overcome. The government is not just talking, it's putting money into R&D. Only on that will I emphasize and give you some data so that you have the confidence that this country and the money that it earns out of taxation, that's my job, so I will tell you that. My job, it is for generating revenue, but not troubling people. I'll assure you that.
Well, that is the Finance Minister. The big global story, Starbucks CEO Lakshman Narasimhan has been replaced with Chipotle CEO Brian Niccol, effective immediately. Now, Niccol will start in his new role from the 9th of September. The company's Chief Financial Officer, Rachel Ruguri, will serve as the interim CEO until the time. Now, the coffee giant's sales have been struggling in the recent quarters due to weak demand in the US and China. Shilpa joins us now with the details. Shilpa, Lakshman Narasimhan out, has been replaced. There was a lot of pressure by activist investors as well. Starbucks has had last few difficult quarters. What does this now mean for the company?
Well, yes, it's just been a little over a year since Lakshman Narasimhan took over as the Starbucks CEO, but the company's performance has struggled under his tenure. Now, the company's shares have fallen about 23% under his tenure, from nearly $99 in March 2023 when he took over to about $77 now as on the close of 12th of August. Now, the company was also facing immense pressure from activist fund Elliott over the performance, and while accumulating significant stake, the fund was in talks with Starbucks for board expansion and governance improvement. But what's been the larger issue? Slowing sales. Now, Starbucks reported 2 consecutive quarters of sales decline, and this is the first since the pandemic. And in the April to June quarter, same-store sales fell about 3%, as transactions also declined about 5%. Narasimhan had attributed this to a challenging consumer environment weighing on sales at its cafes. And meanwhile, experts had been attributing this to, lack of a lot of competition and lack of innovation, and also worsening store experience. Now, the company had put in place turnaround plans for stores that included experience and product upgrades and promotion, but that is yet to show results. In fact, the decline in sales also prompted Starbucks founder Howard Schultz to take note and say that the stores require a maniacal focus on customer experience performance through the eyes of a merchant. He said, and I quote, "The answer does not lie in data, but in the stores." He said this in a LinkedIn post in May. Now, Wall Street seems to have liked this move by the board. Starbucks shares jumped 13% in pre-market trades on the new CEO appointment, while the shares of Chipotle fell 8%. Back to you.
All right, many thanks for joining us, Shilpa. Lakshman Narasimhan was a senior executive at PepsiCo and the CEO of consumer goods major Reckitt before taking up the top job at Starbucks. In fact, in January this year, I spoke with Narasimhan in Pune, his hometown. He was upbeat about the new challenge and expanded on Starbucks' plans for India. Take a look.
To that end, we said this triple shot of reinvention was about, first, it's about elevating the brand. Get the brand, take it even better. The second is about us strengthening and scaling digital. And if we're a very digital business and we have the potential to make it even bigger in what we do, how we connect with our customers, but also how we reimagine the factory in the back while delivering the theater in the front, the theater that we saw. The third thing we have is truly global, and this is where India comes in too. You know, we have a big leg in the US. We've, of course, grown several stores.
On to CNBC TV 18 exclusive, we learned from sources that Bajaj Auto is likely to increase its capacity for its CNG motorcycle. Parikshit is standing by now with the details. Parikshit, the world's first CNG bike recently launched. What's the plan now to up capacity?
Well, Bajaj Auto has received an overwhelming response for their CNG motorcycle called the Freedom 125. Now, this had been launched on the 5th of July, commercially rolled out on the 16th of July, and the company has received over 60,000 inquiries for this motorcycle. Now, the number of units sold in the retail market is already 1,600, and they are likely to sell at least 5,000 units by the end of August this year. Now, the company is looking to significantly increase capacity. In fact, they will increase capacity for the CNG motorcycle to 10,000 units by the end of August and further ramp it up to 20,000 units by end of September or October for that matter. They have over 13,000 bookings right now, so we could see a significant retail and production ramp up of the Freedom 125 in the coming months. Already, the motorcycle is available in Maharashtra, Gujarat, Delhi, Karnataka and Kerala in approximately 86 towns. There are at least 111 towns in these cities where, in these states, where the motorcycle sales could be expanded to. And very soon, in the next few weeks or months, the company could expand sales to all over the country. So this seems to be a strong point for Bajaj Auto for the moment.
Parikshit, many thanks. And the Ministry of Corporate Affairs is likely to finalize the contours of the government's newly announced internship scheme by the end of the year. Sources tell us that the MC has made several new appointments to finalize the framework of the scheme. The appointments include the creation of a dedicated team of Indian corporate law service officers. The ministry has also begun consultations with corporate leaders in Delhi and Mumbai. In what comes as relief for Patanjali, the Supreme Court has closed a contempt case against Baba Ramdev and Patanjali in a misleading ads case. The Apex Court accepted their unconditional apology and an undertaking assuring the court that Patanjali would refrain from issuing misleading ads. However, while the court has accepted their apology, a bench of justices warned that the case would be reopened if any terms of the undertaking were breached in the future. Mumbai's international airport has withdrawn its passenger advisory regarding the temporary disruption of SpiceJets operations. The Mumbai airport deleted its advisory but did not specify the reason for the potential disruption. However, the airline maintained that it worked with the airport operator to resolve what it called a minor financial matter. The airline statement further asserted that it holds a substantial security deposit with the airport that exceeds the required amount. And finally, India's largest airline, Indigo, traditionally known as a low-cost carrier, has started taking bookings for its business class on select high-traffic routes such as Mumbai-Delhi. The starting fare of 18,000 rupees is not only expected to disrupt the premium flying segment, but also positions Indigo for a potential revenue boost. Madiha has done the math and tells us how Indigo stands to make more money by using the same planes and with fewer seats.
Indigo has unveiled its business class cabins called Indigo Stretch. It will feature 12 business class seats with a spacious pitch of 38 inches and a width of 21.3 inches, providing extra comfort to passengers. This is surely a new territory for Indigo that has flown for the last 18 years as a full economy airline. So what calculations could have gone behind entering the business segment? If we do a rough math, the airline's revenue per flight stands to increase significantly with the business class. As of now, Indigo said it is getting the business class directly configured by Airbus on the new A321neo planes that it will be receiving in the coming months. Let's take you to the plane's layout to understand this arithmetic. Indigo's current A321neo aircraft has 232 economy seats. The new planes will have 208 economy seats and 12 business class seats, which means 24 economy seats will be replaced by 12 business class seats. Now here's a straight calculation. If you're taking 24 less economy seats and considering an average ticket price of 5,000 rupees, the revenue comes to about 1,20,000 rupees. And adding 12 seats priced at 18,000 rupees comes to about 2,16,000 rupees. The difference comes to 96,000 rupees. Now there's another way of looking at this math which will give us the same number. If the airline sells 232 seats at an average price of 5,000 rupees, then it makes 11,60,000 rupees. But when it sells 208 economy seats for 5,000 rupees, it comes to 10,40,000 rupees and 12 business class seats for 2,16,000 rupees. The total comes to 12,56,000 rupees, and then when you subtract that from 11,60,000 rupees of the 232 economy seats, the difference comes to a gain of 96,000 rupees. Now that is a direct visible gain, but by removing 24 seats and adding 12, the airline will also have 12 less passengers, and considering an average weight of 60 kg per passenger plus 15 kg of their luggage comes to 900 kg of less weight, which the airline can use for extra fuel range or carrying extra cargo. Now this is of course a rough calculation just on the revenue front. We also need to factor in the expenditure the airline will incur for things like separate catering and special services for the business class.
Well, that's the math that Indigo is working with. On the show, can the Tata's latest offering, the Curvy, take the EV SUV space by storm? Shivani Bajaj takes it out for a test.